hometown set. Did anybody else go to Niles North? Yeah. All right, go Vikings, am I right? I went to Niles North when we still used the logo from the Minnesota Vikings. That was your logo, right? And then, we would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling copyright lawyers. So they had to change the logo. It's still a Viking, it's just a little bit more Aryan. I feel like there aren't that many Jews in this room in Skokie, am I wrong? Okay, one! Yo, this area used to be so much more Jewish. You guys are relieved, but what? Crazy, we all moved north. I moved to Lincoln Park, which I think is the Skokie of the city, but, My parents still live around here. They're not thrilled their daughter does stand-up comedy, so they're not in the room. I know, you'd be like, oh, she's making so much money running this non-for-profit and doing comedy. Oh, we're so proud. I also run a non-for-profit. It does better than the comedy. My parents do not like when I talk about them on stage. I love them very much, so I mostly respect that. Mostly, to some extent. My mom won't let me talk about her. I won't talk about her. Okay, fine. My dad, though, so he's in his 70s. Anyone in their 70s is excited about being in their 70s and wants to admit it? No, okay, it's still a good age. Okay, great. We're not shaming ages. My father is not a grandfather yet, to his dismay. He'd like to be. His daughters are like, we're millennials, sorry, Dad. So he's doing the normal thing and he's collecting stuffed alpacas. Do you know of this? Very common hobby now. They come with little canes and some hats. Some even have glasses. Yeah, just made of alpaca fur. This is a real thing. And I was like, Dad, that's funny. He has 50 in his office. And my mom's like, don't talk about that on stage. They'll rob us. So like when I do that in the city, it's a very different joke. It's like, you guys gonna drive to Skokie to rob my dad? But now it's like, are you guys gonna go drive down Old Orchard and rob my dad? It's really close. I grew up in Devonshire. Does anyone live in Devonshire? No? Do you know, thank you. Do you know the pool? We're known for our pool, Devonshire pool. It's not as good as Oakton pool, okay? That has way more slides. We only had the one. If you grew up around here, it was blue. Now it's green. I don't know who I am anymore. So much has changed. I grew up close enough to the pool that every hour I would hear, safety break, with the light guards clear the pool. Anyone live close enough to a pool to do that? Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Skokie. I also went to a day camp around here. I think it still exists. It was called Summer on Broadway. Does that resonate with anyone? It's very self-explanatory. It was like little drama camp for children at Devonshire Cultural Center. But they did weird plays, not real ones, okay? Like, have you seen The Princess Bride? The classic, The Princess Bride, right? It's not a musical, But then we made it a musical for 11-year-olds. There is only one song in the Princess Bride movie, and it's the credit sequence. Okay? I don't know that you're familiar. I know all the words. I'm going to give you a verse. I made every camper do it. It was a beautiful black man's voice sung by all prepubescent little kids. It was like, come my love, I'll tell you a tale about a boy and girl and their love story and how he loved her oh so much and all the charms he did possess. There's 4 more verses to that. And so we made that a musical. I'm like, okay, here's the last thing about Niles North. When I went to Niles North, it's District 219, if you're familiar. They put up by all the monitors 21.9. So I assumed that was just the district, right? It was the average ACT score of our school. They were advertising that. Horrible, okay. All right, so I'm in my 30s. Can we clap for that? Are we excited to be in our 30s? Okay. We're reminiscent, and some of us actually are. Okay, great. So I'm at the point in my life where it was time to freeze my eggs. Am I right? I had to lock that down. Listen, my dad's a divorce lawyer. He was like, you don't want to settle, and you also don't want a settlement. Okay? So lock it up. It sucks. Who here has had children? Clap if you have given birth. No, be excited. Yeah. You overcame something that I did for 2 weeks, okay? I would tell people I was pregnant, I wasn't. I budged lines. I was like, can I go into the bathroom? I'm pregnant. I wasn't. I was just full of shots, and I don't recommend it, okay? I mean, if you want children one day and you don't want them to be decrepit, but it was horrible. It was so bad at one point, they were like, do you want to quit, Rebecca? And I was like, I did not pay I'm sorry. My father did not pay $5,000 for me to quit midway through. Like, we're doing it. And I'm a millennial, like I said, so we don't put all of our eggs into one basket, put them all into two, you know what I'm saying? I was an ova-achiever. All right. I got one more, okay. I transitioned into a Jewish mother, but then I had to transition right back. It's been hard. It's been hard since then because I'm just like, what I went through for 2 weeks only, and your whole lives, okay, being a woman's very hard. I feel that we can all agree, being a woman's hard, and we don't get to talk about it. Thank you. I've done a lot. Just kidding. For women's rights, not really. Okay. I'm here on stage. Are you guys getting librarian energy from this outfit? Do you feel like librarian? I feel very close to Skokie Public Library right now. I am, proximity-wise. That library has gotten more makeovers than anything in this entire suburb. Why do we keep redoing the library? Why is there only funding for that? It's just something I ask myself every time I pass it, and it looks different. Okay. Let's see, non-Skokie related. They like talk about being from Skokie. I was like, that's a fun topic. It makes a lot of people laugh all over the country. Do you guys know we have our Holocaust museum? Okay. Right across from my high school? All right. Can you guys tell I'm Jewish yet? Did I mention enough things that we got there? Is it my face or is it the giant Jewish star I'm wearing? Well, gave it away. Don't answer that question. So I do. We call it, right on the area I'm from, we call it Scompton. You guys heard that term? The border of Evanston and Skokie, where it's like kind of rough. Okay, no, okay. All right. Yeah, or Skevinston. Listen, I really am from here, I promise. I see you, woman in front. I promise you, born at Evanston Hospital. Okay. Like, I was here before the Oakton stop was on the Skokie Swift, okay? We had to walk. Very short distance, but we still had to walk. All right. Things that aren't about Skokie that are about me. Let's see, okay, yeah, so I got into boxing. Anyone else like to box? Yay, it's a great sport, am I right? It was the men that raised their hands. I did it for the boys, am I right? Just kidding, I did it because of my ex-boyfriend. Self-defense is important. But I did it in like the fun way where I was like, let me make this a whole experience. I can spar, I promise you. But I also have a printer, and I was mad at my ex-boyfriends. So I printed out 3 of their faces. There were more than 3, I'm gonna flex, but 3 of the ones I hated most. And I cut out their eyes, very Law and Order SVU, okay? And I taped it to the bag. I didn't ask, is this a normal thing? It's not a normal thing to do in public. And then I beat up their faces, right? And all the instructors were like, we want all of our classes to do this, right? I was like, well, why don't you tell them? And they're like, well, most of our classes are men. And it's not a great look because most of their exes are female. And I was like, oh my God, am I cute? Am I cute? And gender double standards for beating up my exes in public? Is this how I'm defending feminism? Is this it? I think, yeah, this is what I'm doing for women. Okay. That's it. I'm gonna leave you guys with, we're gonna talk about my antisemitic gynecologist. And you're thinking, oh my God, how would you know she's anti-Semitic? It comes up immediately, all right? Women, everything at the gyno, it sucks, am I right? Yeah, incredibly painful. Do they give you anything to numb it? No. Men, they would knock you out. So I was having what I would call a conscious surgery, where I was fully awake and yet being tore apart. And my gynecologist was Mexican, which is cool, and French, which is less cool. And that's the side that was showing. And that's the side that doesn't like Jews. And she was just like, I was like, can you stop? It was very painful. And I was like, stop what you're doing. And she said, no, aren't you Jewish? Yeah, during a procedure. Mm-hmm. And I said, what? Yeah, how does that have anything to do with this? And she's like, well, your people have been through worse, haven't they? You know what the worst part about that was? It calmed me down. All right, I'm Rebecca Joey Schwab.